So, as Chaya told you, we found something very, very important. And today's going to be a very special day for you. It's going to be a very emotional day.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a happy day. So I'm going to give you the history of what happened.
Yeah.
Chaya, about 10 months ago, Chaya was online.
Yeah.
And she Googled Chenshin, Glickman, Sosnovitz. And she saw that about 2 years prior, a sefer was sold at auction in Israel, that the last owner was your father. And we started right away to try and get it. And it took us 10 months. And whoever I called initially wouldn't help us. We tried, I called the auction house. I pleaded with them to tell me who bought it so we could buy it from them. But they were not very helpful.
They're not allowed to.
Right, they're not
Allowed to
they're not allowed.
disclose.
There are privacy issues, and they said write us a letter and we'll forward the letter to the buyer and we'll try to get it for you. And nothing ever became of it. Whoever I spoke to Tzvi, I spoke to this one, I spoke to that one. Everybody tried to help us, but we couldn't make any progress. We were basically, every time we were hitting a dead end.
Oh,
Eh.
they met at the Thanksgiving.
I will. Then Chaya said, Chaya has his fellow, I don't know if you remember, we met, he was at the Thanksgiving dinner. His father was an artist, remember? He got up and he spoke at the end,
Yeah.
and he thanked Chaya, and he knows a lot of people because his father's a famous artist. He said, speak to this guy in Israel, he can help you. And I spoke to him and I told him, he said, I'm going to try and help you. And he tried, and I would call him every now and then. Same story, he was hitting a dead end. The only thing we were able to find out was that the person that bought it lived in London. That was the only thing I was able to find out. Anyway, about 2 weeks ago, after the endoscopy, I got a call maybe 3-4 days later from him. He said, I don't know what happened, but they agreed to sell you the sefer. And we bought it. And I was at the airport this morning at 6 o'clock. Tzvi sent it with someone, and I picked it up, and I have it right here. And how do we know that your father was the last owner of the sefer? Because it's written in the sefer. The sefer itself was printed in 1682. That's how old the sefer is. I'm going to show it to you right now. This sefer, it's called Emunah Shmuel.
Josh, where is the ultraviolet?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
thank
need
you.
this. Shut the light?
No, not yet. This here, I bought this for you, so you, let me, thank you. Yeah, the other one, please. This is the sefer. It's called Emunah Shmuel. It was written by someone that lived in Kaidanov in 1682. It was printed in Germany.
Yeah.
It was printed in Germany. Now, we're gonna have to find it, but if you open up here, I don't know, can you see? Let me show you something. This, 1 second. Look, if you look here, someone started writing. What does it say? You see what it says? It says Hakatan. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see? Is it?
Oh, my glass.
Where's?
I have a pair of glass.
Where's what
Be
she?
careful here.
Well,
What does it say?
A name.
Whose name?
We're gonna find out, he's gonna know. This?
Yeah.
What's this? This?
Where do you have another pair, Dad?
So wait a minute, this person wrote the Sefer?
No. This Sefer was written 300 years
Here
ago.
there, the Carlsbad?
No.
16.
82. Where is?
Inside.
Inside the kitchen.
Let me get it. Then. 1 second. Let me get it. Don't. No. Let me get it. Where would it be?
Yeah.
In the drawer?
The door may be on the window, by the window.
Yeah.
10 months you worked on it.
This I think is 8.
Yeah.
This is also 8 months.
Yeah.
No, but these are on his.
Yeah. This
Eyes.
Okay, on his arm. It's easier. Okay.
Took a pause.
Okay. Sit down then. It's. I don't know.
These good?
Can you
These are
look?
good?
Someone started writing here. Can you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it say? It says Hakatan.
Cotton.
What does it say?
Yashibora.
Yosef Baruch.
Yeah.
So Yosef Baruch was who? Your uncle?
My brother.
No, but your brother's
Did you-
named after him,
Did
brother.
Oh.
you have an uncle Yosef Baruch?
Who is he named
Your
after?
mother's brother.
Who is Yosef named after? Do you know?
Devorah Perel's brother
Brother.
was Yosef Baruch.
Was your mother's brother's? Your mother's brother was his name Yosef Baruch?
Yeah, my mother's, my mother's brother was Yosef. My mother's father.
Yeah. Your mother's father
Yeah.
was?
No, Yosef Baruch was nice too. Nice.
No, later. Yeah.
My father is oldest, my grandfather's oldest son, Yosef Baruch.
Oh, right, exactly. Because
Yeah.
look at here. This is the last page. So it seemed he started writing over there. He didn't have enough space. So he wrote here. You see what it says? Look.
Yeah.
Harav, what does it say?
Rav and
Harav Agoin Atzadik, Reb. What does it say there? Can you see? Reb Yoshua.
Sure, yeah,
Av Beis Din Tzedek Sosnavtza.
yeah.
Ben Harav Agon Atzadik, Reb Yitzchak,
Yeah.
Chosn
Up.
Mufla Shebasanhedrin. Mufla Shebasanhedrin. Maran Harav Atzadik, Michenshin, Shlita. He was alive, obviously. Ben Achaben,
Ben.
Rebbe Melublin. You see what it says there? This was in your house, this Sefer. It was in your house. And look what it says here. Look what it says here. Reuben.
Yeah.
You see Reuben?
Yeah.
Feiga Glickman. Sosnovitz.
Reuben?
Who was Feiga Glickman there? Mendel?
Feiger?
Yeah. Mendel's mother.
Yeah.
Her name was
Oh,
Glickman?
Mendelus. Mendelus
was
mother.
Alberstam.
So who was
Alderstein.
Feiga Glickman?
Who was Feiga Glickman?
Feiger,
That's what it says. She wrote in here.
In English, letters.
Yeah. Was Mendel's mother named Feigele?
What was the maiden name? What was the
Maybe
maiden name?
before it went, how old is it?
Who know? I don't know when it was presented to your father.
Yeah, oh.
Right.
It could have been someone gave it to him in the 1920s, 30s.
She was a young lady.
She was a young-
She was the oldest daughter, sister, the oldest sister of my brother. What's the name?
Feige Glickman, look,
Yeah.
Ruben, you can see Glickman.
Okay.
I can't make that out. That's a stamp.
Tim.
Yeah, I can't make it out. I can't make it out. Now, also, there's something else in here that.
Yeah.
You believe this was in.
Where did you find it?
Chaya. You have to thank Chaya.
Maya, it took her 10 months.
We were.
Maya.
She found it
worked on
online.
it for
No,
10 months.
let me explain. When you want to search for something today, there's tons of information out there, and you do what's called a Google search.
Yeah. And it brings.
So sometimes I search for things,
Yeah.
and one night I was searching the name Glickman, Sosnovitz, Chenshin, and almost always, not almost always, nothing comes up. Other than family information that we know about.
Yeah.
And this one night I search, all of a sudden, bam, this lot of 2 Sfarim that was sold at this auction house in Israel called Kedem Auction House pops up. And it's attached to the name Yehoshua Glickman. So I knew I had hit something. I didn't know what it was. But then I sent it to Shia. He was sleeping because it was the middle of the night. And then when he woke up in the morning, we were able to open up and they showed you the inside flap of the Sefer
Yeah.
where your father wrote his name and his yichus.
No, he didn't write. He didn't write his name.
He didn't write his name?
No.
Someone else wrote it.
Someone else wrote it,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. On this page,
Where did it belong to?
it was attached
You know why?
to stuck to the binding
Yeah.
is a gray hair. Look at that. There's a gray hair, like from a beard or something. You see?
That's why it was. Right.
You see that? You see the hair? There's a hair. So we managed, thank God, to buy it. That they agreed to sell
Wait,
it.
there's a little bit more to the story that I think I would like to share with you. So, what's very interesting is, after we reached out to the auction house, and they're not allowed to disclose who their buyer is, and we asked them to send him an email and explain who we are and why we want the Sefer. It's not like we wanted to sell it or it was worth
Right.
tons of money. It was, valuable to the family. And the man didn't respond at all to the emails. So, I said to Shia, I said, let's ask a Shaila. Maybe it belongs to us from a halachic standpoint.
Yeah,
Maybe it belongs to you because it belonged to your father.
right.
So Josh
Oh.
goes and he asks his rabbi, Rabbi Brown, and he says, there was Yiyush on the Sefer, you never even knew it existed, you never
Yeah.
thought it existed, you don't have anything to stand on from a halachic view. Okay, anyway, one day Josh was talking to Tzvi about it. My brother-in-law sends Josh what's called a podcast. It's like a story, you listen to like shiurim and stuff online on the phone. And it's a very interesting podcast from a shliach in Siberia, Lubavitch, a shliach. Okay, he listens, so he forwards it on to Tzvi, Josh. So Tzvi is listening to the podcast in Israel, and then he goes to listen to the next one, which Josh didn't do. And in the next one, he says to Josh, "You're not going to believe what he says." He says he knows that he couldn't quote who it was from, but
No,
there
wait,
was a
tell them the story.
reshown.
Why? No,
Oh, because he was.
Okay, so he was a shaliach in Siberia, this Lubavitcher Chassid. And he said that when he got there, he met some Jewish people. There was an old Jewish lady that would bring him svarim to bury. You can imagine in Siberia, chumashim, sidurim that she had in the house. Anyway, she brings him and he buries them, and she brings them again. And he said to himself, you know what, I never look inside the bag. Let me see what's inside the bag, what I'm burying. So he opens up the bag, and he's going through the bag, and he sees one sefer, looks very old. He takes the sefer out, and the sefer, it was a Tanya from the first Lubavitcher Rebbe's brother-in-law. And he writes in the sefer, and he says to himself, thank God. He says, who should get this sefer if not me, that I'm a shaliach from Lubavitch? And he quotes a Rishon, and he says, I don't remember who says it, but he says there's yish and everything, meaning yish means that if you lost something, you give up on it.
You gave up.
You gave up. So whoever finds it is now the rightful owner. He says there is yish in everything except for Sfarim, because Sfarim always,
Sifrei Kodesh.
Sifrei Kodesh, will always return to the rightful owner.
Wow.
Uh,
So therefore, at that time,
Tzvi kept on
Tzvi
saying,
said, it's
it's
gonna
going,
come back to you.
I promise it's gonna. And when he would ask me all, and there was never. I always said, Tzvi, I'm hitting. It's a dead end. I can't. And then the man that got the sefer told me that 2 weeks before, they told him at the auction house, please stop bothering us. They don't want to sell. And then, like as if a miracle happened, they said that they agreed to sell. They just changed their mind. Now this here is the last page. Here there's not different people. It seems wrote different things.
Yeah, every sefer
Has it?
in Europe and Poland.
Yeah,
People
wrote
wrote it.
their names. That this.
Names, the days,
Yeah.
Every sefer. Except the sefer that only my father used. Like the Yishwach Moshe and the other swarm on the table, on his table.
On his table.
Nobody,
Touched.
nobody touched. Only, but they say, if he says in the small chunk, they took out, they wrote the names and put it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because no one thing.
That-
I mean, should
Um,
be
in the family later on, someone should.
yeah.
So who wrote this?
So
Yeah.
someone wrote it. I'm sure that's why someone gave this to your father, because it was from Kaidanov.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
here something is written, but I really can't make it out.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with this. I have to.
We're gonna have to have it restored.
Here. Mi'izavon. I can't.
And I can see
Very-
Very advanced Hebrew.
Mi'izavon. Kvod Kocho. Arav Agun Hayofi. It says.
Didn't specify, I didn't speak
It's
English.
Saleh. No,
A
it's
lot of us
Saleh.
spoke
No,
modern
this is
Hebrew.
someone else.
300 years
It's
ago.
Saleh.
What's
something. No, no.
Self is 300
But
years
this, I'm just, now this page is ripped. I'm thinking if I should scotch tape it or not.
So no, I spoke to a restorer.
Yeah,
He said the pages on these books are made very well. They're made out of linen,
yeah.
and they don't need. He said when you restore, it sometimes ruins it. I have
Really?
a guy that collects thousands of years.
Yeah.
He said it's made out of
We'll show it.
it's made out of
Right.
rags. 300 years. The pages will never die. Ever.
No, I'm not saying type, but I don't want it to
Even the
rip again.
scotch tape, you have to have a special type. You can't put anything on
Probably
it.
red, Yoshua.
No, it'll yellow or ruin the whole.
Huh?
Yeah.
Don't touch it. Leave it.
Who
Just leave
does
it.
it? That man?
No.
Ben? Yeah.
Then around in
What does it
the
say?
Rabbi Tzvik,
Ben?
then, you
No. No. Rabbi
the,
Yoshua Av Beis and Tzedek Sosnovtza, it says.
Yeah.
Ben Harav Hagon Hakod Reb Koik Yab Yitzchok.
Yeah.
Schuso Yogen Alim Hakol Yisrael.
Yeah.
V'chosn v'chatan Harav Atzadik Hamufla. Hamufla Shebasanhedrin. You see what they call it that? Hamufla Shebasanhedrin. They call Av Beis and Tzedek Chenshin. Shlita. Be'ir Elkish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think now is a good time for L'chaim.
Yes.
What do you think?
You never expected this. Yeah.
He was, my father in the dead of the Christian was. Belonged to the Schneider.
1 second, what did you say? I wanna hear, what did you say?
That his father and the Chenchina Rebbe belonged to the Sanhedrin. They could have been in the Sanhedrin. Yeah.
So this
Okay.
safer.
I'm gonna shut it.
This safer was found in Siberia.
No.
The money that they had,
Where was it found?
it belonged.
Chai, I'm shutting it.
You know, that
Should I shut it?